Hello out there, YouTube. What's going on, everyone? It is D Done here. I am the average gaming dad, and for the second time, and I think about 2 months now, I've broken my PR again, and I almost dropped a 40 bomb in solos. This is not casual. This is regular solos. I do not manipulate my matchmaking in any way, doing VPNs or anything like that. But you know, we went on a tear where we were dropping 28, 29, and then we dropped to 30, then we dropped to 32, and then here we are a few days later, and I managed to drop a 36. I didn't really do anything new or particular in this game that I don't normally do, running the same setup except for the TR2 Full Auto conversion SMG kit instead of my PP that I enjoy using so much, and that gun is also just incredibly strong. Really slept on. It just lacks some of the mobility of other SMGs, but it is probably the deadliest. But this isn't about the TR2 or, of course, about, you know, the most dominant gun in the game, the Kilo. I really wanted to talk about matchmaking because obviously these last couple months have been huge for me, both in terms of, you know, the momentum that we have going on the channel in terms of subscriber count, and as well as like the level of gameplays that I'm getting. I never really thought that I would drop, you know, a 30, let alone a 36. It's just not really something that I thought I was going to do, or especially do consistently. And I may never drop a 30 again. Who knows? But for the time being, it looks like things are good. And I was talking with my friend Brian. Brian, if you're watching this, I appreciate you, brother. I love you. We're talking about, you know, why could this be? Well, there's obviously a few things. So there's the things that are in my control, one of which is that I upgraded my internet. I would have a hard time believing, I think, that it would make that much of a difference, because it doesn't always feel like my internet has been, you know, holding me back in any sort of way. But, you know, going from 250 meg download to a 500 meg download, and then all of a sudden I start, you know, without doing anything different, going from getting mid 20s to now mid 30s, maybe the internet was holding me back. I mean, my ping is normally around what you see in this gameplay, around in the 50s, sometimes in the 60s and 70s. So, you know, maybe, you know, upgrading my internet made a big difference. I'm a little skeptical of that. My friend Brian also suggested, well, hey, like, you've been making, you know, I made a couple of the in the mind of the average gaming dad videos where I go through, you know, a 20 bomb and explain my reasoning, my thought processes. The dog's barking. Please stop. The thought process and, you know, why I'm doing the things that I'm doing in an effort to help illuminate to you guys if you're looking to, you know, upgrade your game as well. And so he also proposed that perhaps going back and reviewing my gameplays myself and seeing, you know, mistakes that I might have made, or, you know, kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? Solidifying like certain tendencies that I have, or like just good best practices for the game. And then one of my subscribers also pointed out in the comment section, and if you ever want to talk to me, just leave a comment. I respond to literally every single comment, every single video. He said that your movement doesn't look like other Warzone YouTubers and streamers, and so I asked him to elaborate on that, and he said that it's not very flashy, right? I go to a spot, to the person I'm trying to get to, I get the kill, and then I run. I'm not like YYing or spinning or jump sliding and stuff. And so I thought about that. That is also a concerted effort, you know, thought process that I've had on my own, where I've thought to myself, you know, in this specific rendition of Warzone, I think movement is less impactful than it has been in previous years. And so I've been trying to just focus on like being the Tim Duncan, if you will. Tim Duncan was a professional NBA basketball player who was known for not doing anything flashy, sticking to the fundamentals. You know, like He always went for like bank shots and easy layups and stuff. And I think that's kind of like the same approach I think that I've been accidentally getting myself into. Not accidentally in a bad way, on purpose, but just being fundamental. You know, it doesn't have to be flashy, even though I post on YouTube. It doesn't have to be, you know, YY and doing 360s. You know, it's Call of Duty. It's not that complicated. Almost everyone can get a kill in this game if you just hold down left trigger and your aim down sight, and then you know, don't miss your shots. A lot of it just comes down to that, just being ready for a gunfight, being prepared, and then hitting your shots. So, you know, I think it's probably a culmination of all these things, but if I'm being very realistic, like really realistic with myself and with you guys, a lot of it also, I think, of course, has to do with the matchmaking. Now, obviously, with games like Arc Raiders, with games like Battlefield 6 multiplayer and Red Sec that have come out, also Battlefield 7 or Black Ops 7 multiplayer without the Warzone integration, there's a lot of people that would probably normally be playing Warzone that are off playing these other games, and that will dilute the player base. And so this is an unfounded theory, so, you know, if you guys think this is true, not true, let me know. But I think that whenever there is I think there's a certain threshold number of players in order for skill-based matchmaking to be activated, right? So if the game realizes there's only, you know, there's less than the par amount of people playing in solos or whatever game mode it is, then it will basically stop using skill-based matchmaking in an effort to just find you a lobby. You know, this, I think, makes sense when you consider that trying to find a solo match, even in peak times, can take 10 minutes or more. You know, if you're playing off-peak hours, sometimes 15 minutes just to find a single match. And obviously, the lobbies are much easier than if you even just go to play like quads, for example. That could also just be that, you know, more sweaty people play in parties and groups with their friends who are also good, right? That's just always been something in Call of Duty where typically better players play in parties. And so that could be a part of it as well. But I really do believe that with just a lack of people playing this game, it cannot use skill-based matchmaking. And so it just defaults to regular matchmaking. Now, this is, of course, anecdotal. I don't have any data or any statements necessarily from Activision or anything that would support my claim. But I will just tell you anecdotally from my experience, when I play solos, the lobbies are much easier. And when it's peak time, and it does seem like the lobbies get much harder, my lobbies seem harder, right? Which makes me think more players are playing and skill-based matchmaking is activated. Also, the connection that I get is much poor, like much poor. It's much worse than off-peak hours when it feels like there is no skill-based matchmaking. Now, I know Activision has said many times that skill-based matchmaking does not affect ping. That is an outright lie. That has been tested multiple times by, you know, very scientific methods, people in the community where that's their sort of content, right? And it's maybe not necessarily a drastic difference, but for me, like right now you see in this gameplay, I have around a 50 millisecond ping, whereas when I play during peak hours and the lobbies get sweatier because of skill-based matchmaking, my ping is often in the high 60s, sometimes up into the 70s and low 80s, right? So it's, again, anecdotal, but it just feels like when the lobbies are sweatier, my connection is worse, even though I have the upgraded internet. And so I think, you know, a lot of these things together just leads me to believe that this is what Call of Duty is truly like when there is no heavy skill-based matchmaking, right? I know a lot of people have speculated that they added bots into regular solos instead of just casuals, and I do not believe that to be the case, simply because if you play casuals, there's some very specific things that the bots do, like every single time. Like they almost always lay prone, even if they're out in the open. They like always throw a grenade first and then like lay prone, try and shoot. They don't pick up contracts. You know, they usually don't have, what do you call it? Like custom loadouts and stuff. And I just don't see that when I'm playing regular solos. like here. Yes, of course, there's lesser skilled players, but because you're not going to drop a 30 bomb in a game of sweats. But I just don't see the same things that bots do in casuals. I don't see any players doing that in regular solos. So for me, I really don't think that there's bots. Also, if there was bots being added, then there would not be such a long wait time for lobbies, right? Because the game would be like, oh, there's not enough people. We'll just throw some bots in and get this, lobby kicked off. But we don't see that. We see really, really long wait times and a very broad mix of player skill, but mostly just, a lot of lower skill players. And to me, this is what I've been dreaming about since Call of Duty 2019 or Modern Warfare 2019, when they went, full in on skill-based matchmaking, and it was very strict and it was very harsh. It makes the game way less fun, in my opinion. And now I know, so as this pertains to what's coming up, right? We have Black Ops 7 coming out in a couple weeks, like a week, right? December 4th, I think. So about 10-ish days away, we have Black Ops 7 integration into Warzone. And in Black Ops 7 multiplayer, they said that they were going to do the matchmaking system that limited the impact of skill on matchmaking. That has been argued if they actually have done that or not. I think there is some reason to accept some doubt, because obviously Activision has not been entirely honest with the community in the past about its practices and stuff that it does. For example, skill-based matchmaking. And so I think we could be skeptical, but and it may, we may need some level of skill-based matchmaking, because I don't want to, like, it is fun to get these gameplays, but it just seems odd that they all came all at once. So I really don't know what to make of it. I obviously am not, I'm not advocating for skill-based matchmaking. It's something that I truly think does hurt the game in the long term and punishes players that have taken the time and the effort to get good at the game. You get punished by having to just play better and better players. Like, that's not a reason to play, especially not in a ranked mode. And so I really don't know what to expect. I think this is a really, really long way of saying I really don't know what to expect out of this next iteration of Warzone, what kind of matchmaking we're going to see, and also the fact that there's still a ton of other really popular games that people are playing. And as a result, like, there's still probably going to be much lower numbers. So I don't know if we will see weaker skill-based matchmaking because that's what the developers are intending, or if we're going to see weaker skill-based matchmaking because there's just not many people playing. I'm not sure. But I will tell you that even though I don't get a lot of time to game, compared to, say, when I was in college or whatever, the opportunities that I do have to play, I am excited. I'm excited to hop on. I'm excited to play. I know you guys see all the gameplays with, like, my super sweat class. I do actually have a couple 25 plus kill games that I want to come out with the TR2 and a sniper. So I definitely have been using some off meta guns. And I do want to keep doing that, because I think those, make it a little bit more interesting than seeing me laser people with the kilo over and over again. And so, for the next week or so, I want to post more videos. I want to do, probably, because I have so many 20 pluses saved up, I want to start doing probably, 2 gameplays per video. So longer videos. So if you guys enjoy that, you guys will have that. Still want to do probably 1 or 2 more, in the mind of the average gaming dad videos. But, all these things said, the game is just a much more enjoyable experience. And it's not like these kind of games happen all the time. In fact, sometimes, the game where I dropped my first 30 plus, the rest of the games, I was, floating around my normal average, like 10, 12 kills, nothing crazy. I don't think I dropped another 20 or anything. It was just, it feels very refreshing to have some variety in the type of player you face. If you want to use a sweat class, you can. If you want to use an off-meta class, you certainly can. And you're not necessarily punished for it in the same way you would normally be with strict skill-based matchmaking. So again, I really don't know. I can't really point to one thing and say this is what I've been doing well in order to drop, almost a 40 bomb, something that I really don't think I will ever get. Um, but it's just some stuff to think about. As always, I would love to get your guys' opinion on this as well. If you guys are out here playing solos, what do you guys think is happening? If you're playing duos or quads or trios, does it still feel really sweaty? I'm really curious, and I love feedback. I love interacting with you guys. It's one of my favorite things about doing this whole YouTube thing. So anyway, enjoy the rest of the gameplay. I'm at 22 with 31 left. So, I get like half of the rest of this lobby. It's action packed until the end. I take a lot of risks pushing out into the open at the end of the game to get those last few kills. Like I was really pushing myself. So I really hope you guys enjoy this. If you are new and you enjoy this kind of content, please subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. Like I said, I respond to every single comment. And if you are so inclined and you really want to extra support the channel, you do have the option to join as a member for a paid subscription if you should desire to do that. But that is it. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. I can't wait for Black Ops 7 and to, empty out the vault of all my gameplays, hopefully. And fingers crossed, we may be streaming again soon. So I'll let you guys know on that soon. But thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Contract complete. Discount. Bounty targets are up. Get after them.
I'll drive. Reloading.
All bounty targets destroyed. Hell of a job.
Give me eyes in the sky.
Be advised, an enemy squad is tracking your location. Gas is closing in. The enemy lost track of you. Good work down there.
Daily authorizing UAV mission.
Available for tasking.
Hostile UAV in the area.
Thanks for the work. UAV overflight terminated.
Give me eyes in the sky.
Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
Not done yet. Switching mags.
UAV exiting the AO.
Tracking a high-value target. Weapons hot.
Authorizing focus loading. Reloading.
Primary objective complete. All targets eliminated.
30 effing kills. Takes more than that to finish me.
You've got a loadout drop inbound. soldier incoming. Gas is inbound.
UAV standing by.
TACOM, requesting recon overhead.
Tasking.
Changing mags.
UAV is bingo fuel. Returning to base.
Top 10. Keep knocking them down.
Daily authorizing UAV mission.
Gas is closing in. Relocating safe zone.
Under fire. Not done yet.
TACOM, we're flying on fumes. UAV returning to tank.
Tallying UC4. Reloading.
Four remaining. You've got gas moving in.
More than that to finish me. Switching mags.
Gas is inbound. Marking new safe zone. You're losing ground. Move it. You're in the top three. Don't let up now.
Changing mags. I'm hit.
Gas is closing in. Get to the new safe zone. Gas is moving.
multitasking.
Not done yet. Finish me. Switching mags.
Priority tasking request. All enemy squads eliminated. That's a job well done.